The Scum Villain's Self-Saving System. Chapter 86. The Scum Villain's Self-Saving System. Audio source: wuxia-world-audiobook.com. Chapter 86. The Scum Villain's Self-Saving System. Extra: a record of when Master Lu fought a succubus. This story happened when Luo Bing'er was busy leveling up after Master Shen kicked him into the endless abyss. Shen Qingqiu insisted, "I still think that it's better that you don't tag along. I'm serious." Lu Qing'er pretended to hear nothing and strode on. With his chin up, chest out and gaze proudly straight, Lu Qing'er took wide steps as Cheng Luan's tassel swished on his back. It was as if he was walking down the scorching battle square of Baizan Peak, not some mountain trail overrun by rambling flowers and tangling vines. Shen Qingqiu tried again in earnest. "Shidi, don't push yourself." Lu Qing'er cut him off. "Are you heading back or not?" Shen Qingqiu answered. "After I score." "Ah, no, after I settle the succubus in this area, I'll head back right away." Lu Qing'er stated coolly. "That's what you said last time." Shen Qingqiu. "Yeah." Lu Qing'er. "Then you disappeared for a month." Shen Qingqiu reassured. "I won't die outside. When have I not returned to Kangqiong Mountain to look for you guys before without a cure cadacked up? There's no need for Shidi to go to such lengths just to chase after me." Lu Qing'er stressed. "I didn't. Shisheng told me to." Yeah. Shen Qingqiu replied wistfully. "Shisheng's a great guy." Shen Qingqiu paused. "I'm saying this for your own good. Rumors are circulating in the city that this succubus has a taste for dashing and gallant men. I'm afraid that if Lu Shidi insists on coming along, you might become the demoness's target." Lu Qing'er scoffed. As he was about to answer, a melodious and seductive singing echoed through the valleys. The song was melismatic and mesmerizing. Unspoken, winding, and flirtatious, every turn of note ruffled the listener like a feather scratching on their hearts. Both men followed the turning track and ended up in front of a cave. Suddenly, 7 or 8 young girls popped out of the bushes around them. Each one of them looked lovely with their hair rolled into twin buns. They looked young, and they should be, seeing that they didn't even try to hide their demonic aura. They demanded in crisp voices, "Who are you?" Seeing a lowly blocking his way, Shen Qingqiu replied warmly, "Is this?" Before he could finish his greeting, Lu Qing'er reached to his back and pulled out Cheng Luan by 2 inches. The pressure unleashed by the sword ripped through the area, demolishing a portion of the cave's entrance. The girls shrieked and immediately delved into the bushes. Thanks to the gift of their kind, creatures like succubi are bestowed with appearances that easily evokes affection. They would rarely be treated this harshly in their lifetimes, much less these girls who have never seen the outside world. They soon began to sob. Surrounded by the sounds of young girls crying and hiccuping, Shen Qingqiu rubbed his ears and said, "Shidi, you should be gentler with the ladies." Lu Qing'er was impatient. "They are but demons, why should I be? Just do the deed. Once done, we leave." 4 words per phrase, very succinct yet persuasive, brimming with honest integrity, also easy to read. Suddenly, someone from the cave asked, "How rude of you, immortal masters. How did my girls offend you that you'd scare them like that?" Said a voice sweet and tender. A woman clad in emerald green emerged from the cave, graceful in every step. Her skin shone like porcelain under the sunlight. An alluring and irresistible beauty, whose every move was naturally and effortlessly captivating. The young succubi, scared into tears by Lu Qing'er, were quick to complain. "Madam Mayan, this cultivator is so scary. He bullied us." Since Madam Mayan's both a succubus and a charming beauty, judging from how stallion novels tend to be, she's got to be one of Luo Bing'er's flings. In typical situations, Shen Qingqiu would be quick to avoid women related to Luo Bing'er, much less confront them. There were two reasons he decided to get involved this time. Firstly, the cries of the old couple, whose only son was bewitched by the succubi, were too heartbreaking for him to ignore. Secondly, it's because the amorous Madame Mayan has countless husbands and lovers aside Luo Bing'er. Her fling with Luo Bing'er was, all in all, just a fling. It was an affair that ended soon after it started, and she did not become one of Luo Bing'er's harem. The rush of entering a bunch of men at once was what readers enjoy. Therefore, strictly speaking, Madame Mayan was not one of Luo Bing'er's wives. It was apparent that Lu Qingge had no intention to talk to a being of the opposite sex. He destroyed the entrance of her cave and turned his head unapologetically. Shen Qingqiu went. My Shidi isn't used to being around strangers. Madame Mayan mused. My girls are young and insensible. Do forgive them if they offended you. Immortal Masters, I apologize. However, this cave was newly renovated. To think that it'll be in such a state just after your esteemed arrivals. Don't look at me. Look at that guy over there. He's the one who wrecked your cave. He's the one in charge of demolition matters in the Kangqiong Mountain sect. If you want to learn about demolishing, go to Baizan Peak. Shen Qingqiu always believed in diplomacy before violence. He shook his fan and responded politely. It's not our intention to destroy your abode, madam. The Huangs at the foot of the mountain requested us to bring their son back. We hope that you could release him. Madame Mayan answered. Oh, Master Huang. I have seen at least 8 or 10 young men with that surname. I'm not sure which Master Huang you're referring to, a mortal master. Lu Qingge scoffed. Why don't you release them all then? Madame Mayan pretended to be conflicted. It's not that I don't want to release him. There's nothing I can do if he, himself, wants to stay and refuse to return home. Lu Qingge tsked. Shen Qingqiu was also sick of going in circles. He said, no matter what, please bring him out, Madame Mayan. We have our plans. Madame Mayan chanted softly. In that case, follow me. She turned and walked into the cave. Shen Qingqiu waited till she's several steps ahead, then lowered his voice to the point that only Lu Qingge could hear him. She's not gonna release Master Huang, and she's not letting us leave either. Lu Qingge replied curtly. So what? Counter soldiers with arms, water with an earth weir. Instead of exposing her right then and there, it might be better to take a step at a time and respond accordingly. Following Madame Mayan, they entered a spacious cave padded with fragrant grass and brocades. 12 well-endowed attendants lined up on both sides of the cave. Holding moon-shaped fans, they laughed and chatted. Madame Mayan brought them to a stone table. She invited, I've sent a child to get Master Huang. In the meantime, would the immortal masters like to have a drink with me? Shen Qingqiu knew that she just had a few tricks up her sleeve. Unafraid, he smiled. You're too kind. Madame Mayan filled their cups like a welcoming host. Her watery gaze kept floating towards Ling Qingge, who frowned in deep annoyance. The more fleeting and teasing Madame Mayan's glances were, the more Lu Qingge ignored her and rolled his eyes. Deep inside, Shen Qingqiu was very amused. Good-looking boys like Luo Bing'er and Shen Qingqiu were exactly Madame Mayan's type. Now that she has set her eyes on Lu Qingge, could he escape her grasp? Seeing a man with such exquisite features and skin as white as snow, she'd resort to any measures. She'd pester them till they relent, push him down and pleasure herself till she had her fill. Lu Qingge's expression later will be a sight to behold. Oh no, what to do? I'm kind of looking forward to it. What a sin, what a sin. As expected, Madame Mayan couldn't sit still for long. She covered her lips with her sleeves and looked at Lu Qingge with timid doe eyes. Immortal Master, do you have anyone that you've cultivated together with as partners? She's so straightforward. That was one question that no human, nor demon, dared to ask Lu Qingge. As if he got struck by a bolt of damped lightning, Lu Qingge almost suspected that he heard her wrong. The tips of his brows and the corners of his lips began to twitch, his gaze unfocused. He instinctively turned to Xiāng Tóngxiù. It's the first time that Xiāng Tóngxiù saw such an indescribable expression on Lu Qingge's face. A corner of the thousand-year ice mountain had just crumbled, to which Xiāng Tóngxiù laughed hysterically in his heart. On the surface, he kept a straight face, though his fan-holding hand trembled at the sheer agony of holding back laughter. He tried to hide his twitching lips by covering half of his face, and said in all seriousness, "No, he doesn't." Madame Mayan was skeptical. Why not? With such outstanding looks and demeanor, how is it possible that no female cultivators fell for him? That's quite hard to believe. Xiāng Tóngxiù agreed. Yeah, I'm curious too. Why did you think the question? Is Master Lu actually frigid? Ranked first amongst the top 10 mysteries of Kangqiong Mountain? Lu Qingge took a difficult breath, and complained coldly, Master Wang's sure taking his own sweet time. Madame Mayan replied, please be patient. Maybe Master Huang is unwilling to come. If you're bored, why not see a little trick of mane? Xiāng Tóngxiù relented easily. Madame Mayan continued, I'm not that skilled, but I've always been quite accurate in predicting matters of love. Would any of you be willing to try it? Xiāng Tóngxiù slightly rocked his head. Shidi, are you interested? Lu Qingge said stiffly, I'm not interested. Xiāng Tóngxiù shrugged. He's not interested, so I guess it's gonna be me. According to the original novel's settings, Madame Mayan was 100% accurate when predicting relationships and marriages. If she said that Luo Bing'e would have 613 wives, he would not stop at 612. If she said that Luo Bing'e's next girl likes to RDE him, she would never be good at taking it up from behind. How could Xiāng Tóngxiù, a lone dog with an uncertain future, resist? Madame Mayan flashed a beautiful smile and turned her wrist, revealing skin as pale as moonlight. A pretty flower bud appeared in her hand, which she raised at Xiāng Tóngxiù. Immortal Master, bestow it with your breath. Xiāng Tóngxiù knew the protocol. He lowered his head slightly and blew lightly at the flower bud. When Madame Mayan pulled the flower back to her chest, the flower bud had slowly bloomed. She held it by the stalk and looked at it with a faint smile. She took a glance at the core of the flower and suddenly froze. Lu Qingge had initially been sitting with his back straight, but he was now leaning slightly at the direction like he wanted to listen. Xiāng Tóngxiù pushed against his shoulder with his paper fan and reminded, Shidi, you're not interested. Lu Qingge sat straight immediately. Madame Mayan examined it for quite some time, and her expression became increasingly solemn as time passed. Perplexed, she said, Immortal Master, my learnings must have been too shallow, for this red line of your past seemed a little unclear. When I first observed it, it seemed like you were destined to be alone. However, when I take a closer look, I can see a very faint line of marriage. She sighed. The way this line of marriage broke off was quite a pity. Shen Ju had a fiancé, but Shen Yuan had always been single. Now that the two lines had crisscrossed and intertwined, it's only natural for it to be inaccurate. Xiāng Tóngxiù was empathetic. The past is in the past. Madam, let's see my future relationships instead. He's dying to know if he could get a girl in this world. He doesn't need her to be an unrivaled beauty, so long as she's a real woman. To their surprise, Madame Mayan's expression became even weirder, like she couldn't bring herself to tell what she saw. Shen Qingqiu's heart sank when she saw her expression. "Don't tell him that he's a destined loner." Madame Mayan finally spoke. She stuttered. The other party is younger than you. Their seniority, or should I say experiences, are not comparable to yours. A woman who surpasses him in both age and seniority. The only possible candidate he could think of was the old Taoist nun from Tianyi Monastery, whom he'd seen for a couple of days, and she's definitely not someone he could stomach. It's possible that not many women who could fit the bill were in the entire world of cultivation. Therefore, while Madame Mayan's description was reasonable, it was almost too reasonable to the point that it was useless. Madame Mayan continued. "Your first meeting was unpleasant, you might have disliked each other, even. However, a crucial event happened, which turned your relationship around. That seemed legit." Shen Qingqiu couldn't help but think. Without him realizing, Lu Qingge had closed in once again. Shen Qingqiu couldn't be bothered to tease him and focused on Madame Mayan's predictions. Madame Mayan's beautiful brows furrowed mildly. "This person is always by your side. You have saved each other's lives." Shen Qingqiu was confused again. Why did he feel that there are no girls around him that fit the description? Ning Yingqiang, Lu Mingyan. Nah, those two belong to Luo Binge. Out. Qi Qingqi. Sure, she's somewhat less experienced than him, and when they first met, he had long forgotten about their first meeting. Always by his side. Doesn't fulfill that either. Well, Shen Qingqiu would like to be always by her side at the Xiangshu peak, but he wouldn't have the galls, and could never do something as perverted as stalking. All in all, Shen Qingqiu could not wrap his mind around the idea of dating Qi Qingqi. It's more plausible to imagine them hacking each other, to be honest. Lu Qingge suddenly interrupted. "Anything else?" Shen Qingqiu was slightly taken aback. WuxaWorldAudio.com. He's only realized that Lu Qingge had moved his chair over. Geez, and he was eavesdropping at the corner earlier too. When did Master Lu become so interested in gossip? Madame Mayan said, "Your destined one, immortal master, rarely pays attention to those around him. However, once they come to care about someone, they do it wholeheartedly without any reservations." Lu Qingge pondered for a second, then asked solemnly, "What about their looks?" Shen Qingqiu looked at him, stupefied. "Why are you asking that? I haven't said a thing." "Such an important question, too," Madame Mayan answered confidently, "a beauty second to none." Lu Qingge uncharacteristically pressed. "Spiritual energy. Potential. Exceptional potential. Powerful spiritual energy. They came from a distinguished household and descended from a noble bloodline." Lu Qingge shook his head in disbelief. "And you said that they're always together?" Madame Mayan nodded. "They might part for a short time, but they'll meet again quickly. Also, the other party's the one who keeps chasing." The corners of Lu Qingge's eyes kept twitching. He pressed them down fiercely as if greatly affected by Madame Mayan's words. To describe it better, he was very much flabbergasted by the cheesiness. Madame Mayan dealt the final blow by saying to Shen Qingqiu, "I'm envious. Did you know, immortal master? This person is staggeringly devoted to you." Lu Qingge felt his neck stiffen. He turned to Shen Qingqiu and showed him an indescribably complex expression. It was clear that he wasn't happy nor angry, but he did look like he was in turmoil. Shen Qingqiu was bewildered. "Are you okay, Shidi?" Lu Qingge said with utmost difficulty. "Inaccurate." Shen Qingqiu. "Huh?" Lu Qingge looked up abruptly and insisted. "Her predictions are inaccurate." Madame Mayan retorted indignantly. "Why are you so sure that my predictions are inaccurate?" Honestly speaking, Shen Qingqiu thought that it was inaccurate too. All this talk about this person being always by his side, young and pretty and noble, that they always put him over themselves. It sounded just like the fantasies of a stallion novel male protag. Even those fantasies wouldn't be so revealing and Jiaxu, okay. No one by his side fulfills all those requirements. Also, if there is, they would be part of Luo Bing's harem. Ha! Lu Qingge retorted, nonsense. What, staggering devotion? There's no such thing. His doubts on her proudest skill enraged Madame Mayan. You're not his destined one. Who are you to question the accuracy of my predictions? Wait, Master Huang isn't here yet. Can you guys not get into a fight over such an insignificant matter? Also, aren't I the main character of this gossip? Lu Qingge had had enough and flipped the moment Madame Mayan turned hostile. He slammed his palm onto the stone table, breaking it into two clean halves. Cheng Luan sensed his intentions and unsheathed itself, releasing a slicing aura. Madame Mayan was beyond furious as she clapped her hands, bellowing, "Come out, all of you!" Wait, how did the fight start? Just what was the cause? I haven't found out what pushed their buttons. Shen Qingqiu raised a single hand and futile to stop the fight, which was of course ignored by all. Madame Mayan and more than a dozen succubi attendants circled them. They adjusted their expressions and quickly went into battle mode. Cheng Luan darted easily through the tight but messy attacks of spiritual energy. Seeing that, Madame Mayan let out a sharp whistle. Shucks. Don't be that fast. I'm not ready. All clothes on the succubi attendants burst once they heard their master's whistle. White and fleshy, everywhere he looks there's a sea of white, fleshy bodies. Although Shen Qingqiu knew that breaking into a naked mass dance was the favorite attack of the succubi, that doesn't mean that he could take the visual impact when such an overwhelming scene happened before him. He shut his eyes subconsciously and stumbled a couple steps back, his back knocking onto Lu Qingge. The endless moans of the succubi echoed throughout the cave. Put in any other ordinary man in their position, they would have forsaken their swords and surrendered under the brain-killing mesmerization of the succubi, plunging into their decadent heaven like a tamed boy. However, Shen Qingqiu made a chilling discovery that Lu Qingge looked as expressionless as ever, as if he saw nothing. With every swing of his sword, he brought down large groups of succubi. His blade quickly became blood-stained as he killed more and more. The naked succubi revealed their real bodies, all limbs on the ground and their razor-sharp nails digging deeply into the soil. They lapped up drool as they kept pouncing onto the duo trapped in their encirclement, only to be deflected by their spiritual energy again and again. Shen Qingqiu wanted to fight them seriously. For real. But he simply couldn't look at them straight. Even a seasoned action movie watcher found it difficult to keep his cool in the face of a tide of fresh, naked bodies. Just how did Lu Qingge remain unaffected? Madame Mayan paled. She didn't expect that she could not entrap their souls even when all of her subordinates attacked at once. Shen Qingqiu tried to chase after her instinctively when she picked the corner of her skirt and ran. However, he realized that they're here to rescue the son of the Huangs and release all those people the succubi has kept as pets. He turned to Lu Qingge. There's no need to fight the rest. I reckon that they couldn't do much now. It's more important to save the entranced. Lu Qingge suddenly said. Don't believe it. Huh? Asked a puzzled Shen Qingqiu. Lu Qingge blurted. What she said just now. She's just messing with us. Shen Qingqiu consoled. Don't be so worked up. I never believed her anyway. As Master Lu's actions were too unusual, Shen Qingqiu could not help but steal glances at him. He could only manage to slide in a few looks before being caught by Lu Qingge. The latter halted him immediately. "Don't look at me." The more he said that, the more Shen Qingqiu wanted to look at him. Only then did he realize that, maybe because Lu Qingge was too angry or something, a faint pink had climbed from the corner of his eyes all the way to his cheeks. His usual gaze was calm and borderline apathetic. However, the light in those eyes was now rippling through his orbs, like the surface of a frozen lake that broke into a million pieces. Shen Qingqiu stared fixedly at him, then suddenly caught his wrist and felt his pulse. The moment he caught Lu Qingge's wrist, Shen Qingqiu could feel how feverish his skin was. He felt his pulse for some moments and asked earnestly, Shidi, be honest. Have you ever cultivated with a partner? Lu Qingge. Why would you ask that? Shen Qingqiu shrugged. Just asking. Do you know how to cultivate with a partner? Lu Qingge exhaled slowly and snarled. Shen Qingqiu? Shen Qingqiu gave up. All right. I'll change my question. Lu Shidi, how are you feeling? Can you hold it until we exit the mountain? Lu Qingge replied. Not great. He's not feeling great, of course. Even if it was Master Lu being hit by the succubus natural scent, in other words, the so-called spring medicine, is a terrible matter. End chapter.